This one is a compare and contrast. So if we look at the objectives, compare and contrast internet connection types, network types, and their characteristics. This is essentially if they give you all the characteristics for satellite, and then they give you the choice, is this satellite, fiber, cable, DSL, cellular, or wireless? Like that's kind of what you're doing there. So it's really kind of a vocabulary type of situation. So this objective is very vocabularistic. I don't even know if that's a word, ironically enough. So satellite internet, it can consider to have high latency. Latency is a delay in communications depending on how far away the satellites are. You probably don't need to memorize the speeds, although you may. That really depends on the provider. It's good to know this. Satellites would commonly be deployed in rural and remote areas lacking wired infrastructure. For example, countryside homes. Countrywide. By the way, that's probably changing because some of the satellite providers are getting really good and they've launched low-level satellites which have really good connection speeds. Internet connection type fiber. Fiber has symmetrical speeds up to 10 gigabits per second, immune to interference, no bandwidth sharing, and requires dedicated fiber optic cables. It's the biggest popular infrastructure right now. That's fiber. Fiber internet connections send their signals by light instead of electronic impulses. Cable speeds up to 1 gigabit per second. Shared bandwidth causes peak time slowdowns. It uses coaxial cables, okay? So cable internet uses coaxial cables. It's typically available in any place that has cable TV will have cable internet available typically. DSL is slower and it has areas with telephone lines but no other infrastructure like fiber or cable. That's still where you're going to find DSL. That's the characteristic for the exam. Cellular is, you could probably see there's many providers now that will sell you a cellular hotspot that's good anywhere that it can connect to a tower. And so anywhere with cellular connection or cellular coverage can use a cellular connection. It requires a hotspot or some way to connect to that, typically a phone or a hotspot. Wireless internet service provider. This is big in rural and suburban areas with limited wired options. So a lot of times they'll put like a satellite infrastructure in place or access points and then allow people to connect to them as their internet service provider. So again, not a big section. Just for the exam, make sure that if you got one of these compared to other ones, I'm walking right off the slide, that you would be able to compare and contrast those, and you should be able to be good to go for this exam. It's not that for that particular objective, okay? Just be able to get the definition for one and not see the other. Now, the next section of network types, for some reason they really do want us to know these network types. I almost feel like these are some of the questions I'm like, oh, thank God I got a question for that. And that would be things like a LAN, WAN, and things like that. So I'm just gonna disappear for just a second and we'll continue on with network types.